to Zoe's Fancy Cakes. For those of you new to the channel, I'm Zoe, and today we're going to be having a go at making Splat from the film Strange World. Now, I've already had a go at making Legend the dog as a face cake, so you can check that out on my YouTube channel as well. And today I really wanted to have a go at Splat. I thought he'd be easy because he doesn't have a face. Actually, his arms and legs proved to be a little bit challenging, but let's have a look. Let's see how you guys can do it too. So I'm starting with a chocolate cake. It's an 8-inch one, and we're just gonna cut it into layers this way around. I'm gonna fill each layer with some buttercream. It's just a vanilla buttercream. Was it a vanilla buttercream? I've already forgotten, but I colored it with like a lilac-y color milk. I'll put links below the video, guys, to everything that I've used. And I built like a cake structure out of threaded rods and masonite boards. You just want to make sure that your cake frame is completely food safe. I used aluminium foil. You can use aluminium tape, and also clear hollow plastic dowels or straws can be threaded over as well to make them food safe, basically so that your cake doesn't come into direct contact with the metal that's in the structure itself. So once you've started your cake on there, like so, and there's a little bit of the cake that I didn't add to the bottom, so that's going to go on the front of it. And also I'm going to carve it so that it becomes more rounded. So kind of taking that corner off all the way round so that Splat becomes more rounded everywhere. Keep hold of all these offcuts because these you can use to bulk him out the front and the back to become more rounded around like the tummy area. I'm going to cover the whole thing in chocolate ganache, and I'm going to scrape it smooth. You can use a flexible smoother to kind of curve it around the shape of the body. I'm going to give this one 2 coats of chocolate ganache. So wait for the first one to dry before giving him a second coat. And then I'm going to cover the whole thing in piping gel just so it becomes a little bit sticky, ready for when we add our fondant and modeling chocolate mix. So I'm going to roll it out. Now, guys, I rolled this way thicker than it actually needed to be. It felt thinner when I was putting it on. Actually, when I cut the cake later, you'll see it's much thicker than I planned it being. So you want to stick it the best you can all the way around Splat, pinching it together. We are going to end up with a bit of a seam, so let's try and get that around the outside edge, pressing it down underneath, making sure it is holding in place. And the reason I've used a modeling chocolate and fondant mix is it tastes a bit nicer, but it usually blends together a bit better as well. I could have just used modeling chocolate on its own for this, which probably would have tasted nicer. It might have even blended together better as well. So I'm just going to cut some circles. We're going to stick them on for a couple of little spots for Splat. And to bulk out the feet, I'm just going to use Rice Krispie treats. So that's just Rice Krispies and melted marshmallows together. And I'm just going to fill them with some of the leftover fondant and modeling chocolate mix just to get them a little bit smoother. I'm going to bulk out the very tops of his legs a little bit with the same as well. So that modeling chocolate and fondant mix. Just try and smooth it off the best you can. Now I'm replacing that wooden skewer that was in that straw with some armature wire, and I'm just putting again more of that fondant into the straw so that it holds in place. Now on the top, I'm going to add a polystyrene ball to the top of the armature wire. Now it is important that nobody eats this bit, but the armature wire's gone into that hollow plastic straw, so it's never coming into contact with the cake, so we can remove that at a later point. I'm also going to create another one on its own that I'll put another straw into the body for as well, and that one's just got a little bit of Rice Krispie treats on the top as well. So we want them to be kind of teardrop shaped at the ends of like these little arms. You can make smaller ones just out of the fondant and modeling chocolate mix as well to go on the side of him. And then once you've done that, we can cover the legs in a thin layer of the fondant and modeling chocolate mix again. If they're moving around a bit, just let them firm up for an hour or so, and then you can cover them like what I am doing. The smaller ones, you won't need any internal support in. They should be fine without. Try your best to blend the modeling chocolate and fondant together when you're putting it on there. You will find that because I've got a bit of fondant in and I didn't just use modeling chocolate, it doesn't blend quite as well. And just use little spare bits of your fondant to hold parts up, so there's little extra bits on the side until they have a chance to dry, then you can remove that at a later point. So we want some big pieces for the arms. Now it's heavy, so it won't just support itself. So I'm going to try and press like his hands against like his feet or against his body, and you can support them with cocktail sticks until they've set, then you can remove them all. Just put some little spots on like the bottom of his feet. And then to colour him, I'm just using some airbrush colours. Now I did move this to my workshop at work to do this because I didn't want to do the airbrushing in my kitchen at home because it does make a huge amount of mess. And don't worry about the bits going on the board, we can clean those off afterwards, they'll just wipe off the board. And I'm hoping the airbrush colours kind of cover or hide the seams a little bit, as I couldn't get them to blend out properly.
So concentrating the darker blue around the very outside edges and the edge of like his hands and feet. And there he is. Now you'll notice that once he's dried, he's lightened quite a bit in color. When the airbrush colors were wet, it looked much darker.
There he is, all finished. I hope you've enjoyed this one. I really wanted to have a go at making a few of the characters from the film, so I really enjoyed this one. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you do like the videos, don't forget to click like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I will see you for our next video very soon.
And guys, I do realise that yes, I hold a knife very oddly when I'm cutting. The modelling chocolate had firmed up quite a bit, so it's actually quite difficult to cut this one. And you can see here that I did put it on a little bit thick. I should have maybe gone a bit thinner with this one. But the cake was nice, I did enjoy it, and of course you can pull off the extra fondant if you don't want that much fondant on your pieces of cake. I'll see you again soon.